Before I even get into this review, I have to say, oh my gosh, did you guys hear that wheeze? Also, you're probably gonna hear our dog prancing around. He's a happy little camper right now. Okay, before the wheeze, pre-wheeze. I was trying to tell you, before pregnancy and children, I used to love to do makeup. Like, I would watch Casey Holmes. My God, she's like, I just love her. She's still my favorite YouTuber. But when she would film all of her like get ready with me's, I literally would sit in front of the mirror and try to find like all the similar products to whatever she was using in her videos. And I would do it. I would do the get ready with me's. I would try to recreate the whole look. Anyways, we had a wedding last weekend. And I was like, when's the last time your girl has done her makeup? Like actually done eyeshadow, the whole 9 yards. Couldn't even remember. That's how long it's been. But anyways, I needed to get a lipstick that matched the dress I was wearing. So I bought this Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink from our local grocery store, just like in the aisle. And honestly, it was great. I'm wearing it now because you know what? Why not? It's probably the last time I'll buy a makeup product for a long time. And you know what? It stayed on the whole wedding, okay? Obviously, I'm pregnant. I miss the sauce. That's what I call alcohol. A lot this pregnancy, more so than when I was pregnant with my son. So my drink of choice was, probably sounds gross, but it was like just a soda water with lime in it because then I was pretending it was like a vodka, you know? Anyways, I probably drank like 10 of those and I didn't have to reapply it once. So if you're in the market for a new liquid lip, this was probably like $12. And you know what? You may be able to get it from your local grocery store too. Who knows? Hello, beautiful friends and book lovers. If you're new here, my intros are usually not that long. But anyways, I'm here with a new book review for The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Matlin. This cover, okay? I just love it. Like, I love it so much. I chose this as my September book of the month choice. I was hooked. Honestly, did I buy it initially because of the cover? Yes, I did. I'm not ashamed to say it because you know what? It is a thriller, which you guys know are my faves. So I was going to read it probably anyways, but the cover, I needed it. I needed it on my shelf. If you're unfamiliar with Book of the Month, it is a book buying subscription. All of these books behind me, top shelves have them too, with this little square, are the Book of the Month logo squares. And for, I think it's $16.99 a month, you get to choose one hardcover book. Books retail anywhere, as you guys know, from like $25 to sometimes $35. This retails for $28 US. So I think it's a great way, a cheaper way to get newer hardcover books. And then you can choose another book for up to $10. Well, actually, you can choose up to 4 other books, all for $10. So I got this, and then I got You Again, which I don't know where it is, but oh my gosh, that cover is absolutely stunning as well. But anyways, guys, I can't wait to talk about it. It's so good. Let me go ahead and read the premise for you in this little back here. If you want to go into your book not knowing anything, then just fast forward a little bit until you see my eyes looking back up, because that means I will not be reading. But the back of the book, we don't have much words. It says, a gruesome history, a hostile neighborhood, a new owner with a shocking secret. Welcome to Blackwood House. And then the inside book description says, most people wouldn't buy an infamous murder house to renovate for fun, but Sarah Slade is not most people. A therapist and self-help writer with all the answers, Sarah has just bought a gorgeous Victorian in the community of her dreams. Turns out you can get a killer deal on a house where someone was murdered. Plus, renovating Blackwood House makes for great blog content and a potent distraction from her failing marriage. Good thing nobody knows that Sarah's past is as tainted as the bloodstain on her bedroom floor. But the renovations are fast becoming a nightmare. Sarah imagined custom avocado wallpaper, massive profits, and an appreciative husband who would want to share her bed again. Instead, the neighbors hate her guts and her husband still sleeps on the couch. And though the builders attempt to cover up Blackwood's horrifying past, a series of bizarre accidents, threatening notes, and unexplained footsteps in the attic only confirm for Sarah what the rest of the town already knows. Something is very wrong in that house. With every passing moment, Sarah's life spirals further out of control, and with it, her sense of reality. But as she peels back the curling wallpaper and discovers the house's secrets, she realizes that the deadly legacy of Blackwood House has only just begun. So this is one of my read with me videos where I do a non-spoiler book review in the beginning, and then if you have the book and you want to read it together, then you keep watching. But right now, this is just the non-spoiler. This is a perfect length thriller for me. It is only like under 270 pages. So like it's a really quick thriller read, which typically those are my favorite. If a book pushes more than like 350 pages, it just feels like, I don't know, too big of a commitment. And then I don't know, it's like this spiraling effect for me. Like if it feels like too big of a commitment, then it like takes me longer to read it because I like self-sabotage. I don't know. I also did a buddy read with this with one of my favorite bookish besties. So I was like, you know, I wanted to make sure I was reading it so I could participate. Oh my gosh, my wheeze again. I don't even know if it picks up on audio. You guys may not even hear it. You may be like, what wheeze? What wheeze are you talking about? But yeah, because of my buddy read and it being a shorter book, this took me like less than a week to read. Also, shout out to Book of the Month for just amazing customer service. My first box, oh my gosh, the wheeze again. I'm gonna stop commenting on it. My first box got lost in transition, the mail, I don't know. I reached out, they sent me a new box and it got here in under a week. So just honestly, amazing customer service. Thank you, Book of the Month. What I liked about this, okay, the setting, I love like a haunted house setting because that's essentially what it ends up being. No spoilers, but just like it's a creepy house. Ooh, it's got this like murder background story to it, if you will. I loved it. Did I like the characters? Well, not particularly. But I don't really love characters in thriller books. Like, you're not meant to be like, oh my gosh, this character is amazing, right? Like, no, it's a thriller book. Sometimes they were annoying, but you know what? I love like unreliable characters, narrators, main point of views, whatever. Like, I just love it. That's what makes, oh my gosh. Dropped the book there, probably scared you guys, definitely scared our dog a little bit. Oops, sorry. I like the unreliable narrators. The overall premise, was it something unique? I feel like a little bit at first when I saw the title. I was like, okay, is this going to be something that's like been there, done that before? I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I really enjoyed myself reading this. On my rating scale, it is a go get this book now. If you're a Book of the Month member and you didn't get it, choose it as an add-on. Like, just choose it. It's a fun read. I really, really liked it. It's one of the thrillers where you're sitting there and you're predicting what's going to happen like the entire time. Okay, so like it's fun. It makes you do that. It makes you predict and think. As a star rating, I don't know, it's up there for me. I would give it like a 4.5 stars, which is high for me. You guys know it takes it takes a lot for me to give a book 5 stars. So 4.5 is pretty high. I feel like I was able to predict some stuff, which is like why it's not a perfect 5 for me, but there was still some stuff I didn't predict. So like it was still really fun and like it's still a super high rating. I loved it and I really enjoyed it. So now I'm going to go ahead and get into the read with me portion of this video. So if you don't want spoilers, just log off now. But please hit that subscribe button if you're new here before you leave, so you're notified when I post a new bookish related video. But if you want to read this book together, or if you've read it and you just want to see if we share the same thoughts, then just keep listening. All right, so I'm going to break this up into like reading it by 10 chapters, because that's what I did for my buddy read. So these thoughts are by chapters, and I actually just like said like chapter 1 thoughts and stuff like that. So for the first 2 chapters, Sarah was super unlikable. And that's kind of what I was hinting at in the non-spoiler part of this video. Like she just gets off on failing couples relationships, and she's like a therapist. I literally was like, what the fuck, girl? Like, what is literally up with you? And I'm just curious. At this part of the book, I'm just curious, like, what is so bad? What could have been so bad that she did? Like, what is her big secret? I don't know, but I'm intrigued. In chapter 3, I am super curious about this janitor with the dyed hair. And like, I don't know. I mean, she clearly is like an alcoholic, which, hello, another thriller with a female protagonist who's an alcoholic. Like, I just am so over the stigma and the trend, but whatever. I mean, like, I get why authors do it, because it adds to the unreliability of the character. It's just annoying because it's like so overdone. But yeah, anyways, I'm curious about him. Like, what was he doing? Why is he so weird? Did someone put him up to this? In chapter 5, sorry, I'm going to be looking at my notes a lot. I'm like, what the F happened to her sister? Did her husband like accidentally kill her or something? Like, I don't know. Is this their big secret? I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I just paused filming for a good 40 minutes so I could eat. I ate some tacos and some chips. Very nutritious. But this lipstick, it did not go anywhere. It did not go anywhere. Okay, moving on. Chapter 8. Such a spooky chapter. So much fun to read. Just Reaper looking at the attic and clearly being like invested and wanting to go up there. She claims he's never been in the attic before. So it's like, how does he even know that like the attic exists, kind of thing? And then you find out that Sarah leaves her coworker a very weird like voicemail saying, don't kill me. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. Now, these are my thoughts on chapter 10. I was super confused about the Good Will Hunting DVD. I don't think it was Joe, but I don't know what to believe. She clearly was upset like getting that in the mail. So I don't know. It's confusing to me. I mean, it feels like someone's clearly messing with her, or I don't know. Someone clearly is like trying to make her upset. Then I have this weird thought that like Joe keeps claiming that he's like leaving, but like, what if he doesn't leave? What if he like pretends that he's leaving and then he just like sneaks around the back of the house and then goes up to the attic and like is making all this noise and like disturbing her? Like, what if he's out to get her? You know, like I'm getting resentment vibes from him. Like, he clearly just doesn't want to be in their marriage, kind of thing. And like, what if he's trying to, I don't know, like spook her into craziness or something? All right, these next thoughts will be on chapters 11 through 20. Okay, thoughts on chapter 11. I'm loving these future like crime posts or whatever about like, you know, the missing bodies and stuff. Like, I'm dying to know. And I'm really trying hard to figure out like who is the missing person. Or sorry, not missing person. Who is the dead person found in this house? Like, I love when we get future point of views like that in a thriller book, because it just makes me so invested and so hooked. I have a feeling that her name isn't Sarah. I think that she's like running from something for sure. And that Sarah's just like this persona that she plays. Okay, so now in chapter 12, Amanda is introduced, or the premise of her, shall we say, and the neighbor mistakenly calls her Amanda, and nobody like knows what happened to Amanda. I don't really know what to make of this yet, other than the fact that they apparently look alike is really creepy to me. Okay, thoughts on chapter 13. We find out that in the beginning of the book that there was like this murder, right? Where the husband killed the wife and then the daughter like got away. So my thought was, what if the old neighbor who confused Sarah for Amanda is really the daughter that like got away from the original murder? I don't know. My other thought is maybe Amanda just didn't exist. And the old neighbor is the one that's like trying to freak out Sarah. And like is telling her all these things that happened to Amanda, but like maybe Amanda didn't exist and this is just her neighbor trying to like freak her out. I don't know. This is what I love about thrillers though. Like they just really keep you guessing and you're having fun with them. Chapters 14 and 15, we find out a second body has been found. And we also find out that it sounds like, at least to me, that Joe was in love with Sarah's sister. So honestly, at this point, I don't know what on earth happened. All right, chapter 18 was huge. We find out that Sarah is actually Lizzie. So the older sister herself is Lizzie, right? And then Sarah was actually her little sister's name. So she's been calling herself by her little sister's name, which is weird, especially, I don't know if we've like found this out. I don't think we did. But like if her little sister is dead, like that's just even more creepy. Okay, here are my thoughts on chapters 19 through 20. We find out that personalities are Sarah's thing. I'm just going to keep calling her Sarah for the sake of this, right? I feel like I caught on to that like a little bit earlier, thinking that Sarah was just a persona that I mentioned a couple chapters back. But now I'm really starting to wonder, like, is she someone who has a lot of different personalities or has had a lot of different personalities like in her lifetime? And also a theory I have is I think her husband might be cheating with the actual Sarah. And like maybe she didn't die. Maybe they just like did something fucked up to her. And then he found her later in life and like apologized, made up for it or something. But clearly Lizzie has mental issues. Like the numbing of the arms thing, and like just personality mimicking. I don't know. She just sounds like she's got a whole lot going on and has for some time. Let me see. Okay. So my notes for the rest of the video are going to be on chapters 21 through finish because I sped through the rest of this book, like sped through it. So, yeah, looks like I stopped taking notes after chapter 23. So I'm just going to read those and then basically tell you all my thoughts on the ending. All right. In chapter 21, I have my theory that I'm sticking with through the rest of the book. Okay, which was, what if Amanda was actually one of Lizzie's personalities and that's why she just keeps getting mistaken around town? Like, what if they're all like, oh, there's like crazy Sarah again who thought that she was Amanda one month and now she's Sarah this month or whatever, you know? So that's like the theory that I really am sticking with through the entire book, is that like Amanda was actually never real. And then I'm also like 1000% convinced with that theory because I think it would explain why the neighbors are like so rude and shitty to her. Because if she is Amanda and Sarah and Lizzie and like all these people, then maybe they're just like tired of her bullshit and they're like, oh my God, here she is again. Like we have to deal with her again. And that's why they're all rude to her. And they just play it off like we don't want anyone to buy the house because the house is cursed or whatever. But maybe in reality, they're just like tired of her and like all of the stuff that she's probably done and like put them through. Another theory I had, it didn't overtake my current theory, but a theory I had was either she's Amanda or the real Sarah is actually Amanda. And like those are my guesses. But then, now this is going to be off the cusp because I didn't write any of this down, but Apparently, Amanda's bones were found, what did she say, on the roof or something? I thought the carbon monoxide leaking was actually brilliant. There is not one part of me that ever thought that once. So I think it's cool though, because like the book lends itself to being like, okay, so there's a carbon monoxide leaking that explains like Amanda and all the stuff that she thought was happening. But like, it's crazy that with Lizzie, I get so confused. With Lizzie and Amanda, they sounded like they were both paranoid, like they both heard things and stuff like that. But if you think about it, the house itself has this spooky story, if you will, like this haunted past. So it's like, it's almost kind of like, well, naturally, you're going to be a little spooked, right? Like you're going to be a little scared. And so it kind of makes sense that, to me at least, that they would both have those like fearful thoughts while they were like suffering from the carbon monoxide poisoning. Like that's not super out of left field for me at all. Like I think that's completely reasonable. For a while, I didn't know if we could trust Emily, her like therapist friend, but it's crazy that she figured it out. She sleuthed out that shit. Then she goes to try to save her and crazy Lizzie kills her. And then Joe gets blamed for it. And she's off like living her best life at the end. But like in addition to, yes, she was being poisoned by the carbon monoxide, she still had some issues going on, right? Like she admitted to killing her sister and that it wasn't Joe and that she staged the suicide and all this stuff. So I don't know. Then she kills Emily. So who knows? I actually liked it though. I don't know. I thought that it was clever. I thought the carbon monoxide was clever for sure. And I love that, you know, she's still kind of crazy. Is crazy, not kind of, is. And that, you know, we're just basically reading that ending and being like, holy cow. So Amanda actually was real. And this whole time, my theory was wrong. So I love that. I love with a thriller. I love when I'm like proven wrong, because sometimes it's just a feeling that when like you are right and you feel like you do call everything, like it's just not as fun. So I don't know. I really liked that about this book. So anyways, thanks so much for reading along with me. Or if you just read this and wanted to share / swap thoughts, please leave your thoughts and comments in the box below. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, you guys.